Well, hey, welcome. Welcome to my new presentation that I'm super excited to release to the general public. It's on how a newbie investor made $7,200 with a sandwich lease option deal without seeing the property, without a bank loan, and without the deal ever closing. So, if you've ever been interested in learning how to create money out of thin air, this presentation is going to be awesome for you. And I'm excited that you're here today. So, a little bit about me. I live in Los Angeles, California. My wife and I are very involved in our church. Was spent 6 years in jujitsu. Something that many people don't know about me is I danced salsa on a professional level for many, many years. Probably doing that for a total of 17 years, and did shows and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was definitely a wild ride, but definitely fun. And I am a consultant to investors and small businesses worldwide, certified, multiple certifications in digital marketing. And I'm definitely on a mission to help wholesalers and realtors get more leads, get more deals, and more profits. And my lovely wife, Diana, great support in our family and our little guy there. You can see him, Ivan, and our little guy, littler guy, Balu, asleep there in the photo. Just been super supportive. And my wife took the plunge a little while ago as well, and went from having a job to being an entrepreneur. And so the two of us are on a mission to help wholesalers and realtors get more leads, more deals, and more profits in their business, and definitely do a fraction of the work. In fact, probably about 90% less work. So we'll get into that here in a minute. But if you failed at wholesaling houses in the past, it's not your fault. And if you've ever been concerned that you can't succeed in real estate as an investor, I want you to put those fears to rest today. I'm going to show you how you absolutely can succeed for sure. You're going to be blown away with what you're going to learn today. And the gurus want you to think that you've got to drive around town looking for vacant houses, hang up those illegal bandit signs on the weekends, right? So that way you don't get in trouble or fined if you do it on a Friday, and pick it back up on Friday evening, pick it back up on Sunday evening, so you don't get a fine. That's crazy. And you don't even they want you to do the open houses and meet with sellers and buyers and all kinds of hoops that you've got to jump through if you follow the old way. But it's simply not true. You don't have to do those things anymore. And if you've ever thought that the gurus are still teaching the old ways of investing, you're probably right. So I'm here to show you the new way to invest in real estate without money and without ever seeing a single property seller or buyer. And even if you're a total newbie and you're not a tech whiz. Now, doing no money down deals is not new, but doing it virtually is still new to a lot of people, meaning finding, controlling, and profiting from real estate from the comfort of your home is still a very, very new concept for a lot of people. And if you stay to the end, I'll be revealing a secret link where you can grab two of my highest converting sales and marketing funnels that get 1 out of 3 sellers to say yes, and up to 60% of tenant buyers to subscribe to my website absolutely free. So if you're used to doing things kind of the old way where you've got to make 100 offers just to get one seller to say yes, stay tuned, because I'm going to show you how to get 1 out of 3 sellers to say yes, and up to 60% of tenant buyers to subscribe to your website, because I'm actually going to give you the website that I use that does that. But you've got to make it till the very end, okay? Can you do that for yourself? So please turn off all distractions, because you won't want to miss a single thing that I'm going to be teaching you today. All right, my goal for this web class is to teach you how to quickly find motivated sellers, control property without any money, and then sell your deals fast without a constant fear of failing at real estate investing and without being lost for what to say to sellers. My goal is also to teach you the savvy way to build a profitable and 100% real estate investment, 100% virtual real estate investment business from home. And I want to teach you how to legally and ethically create money out of thin air. I know that sounds kind of crazy, especially doing it legally, but you can. Happens all the time. And it's just, a matter of understanding some simple legal structures that you can implement. I'm telling you, if you're doing things the old way, the traditional wholesaling way, you're doing things the hard way. You don't need to do all that work, trust me. So again, who is Russell De La Pena? I'm a former six-figure realtor, closing an average of 3 to 5 houses a month. But today, I'm now a full-time digital marketer and virtual entrepreneur. And I specialize in creative seller financing. I'm a consultant to investors around the world. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm a family man to my beautiful wife, Diana, my handsome young son, Ivan, and our little dog, Balu. So a little bit about me and my story. I was a brand new real estate investor trying to pick myself up and rebuild my once successful business as a realtor that had failed. The thing is, at the time, I was trying to figure out how to get financing for my wholesale deals. And the big problem was that because I had gone bankrupt, I had destroyed my credit, so I no longer qualified for a loan. And that meant that the chances of me succeeding as a wholesaler, to me, looked bad. And that I'd probably have to go find a JOB and suffer the 40-40-40 plan, which is working 40 hours a week for the next 40 years and only to retire on 40% of what wasn't working in the first place. But then, as if by chance, something amazing happened. I had an aha moment. It was when I discovered creative seller financing. And now I could practically create money out of thin air using what's called an exit strategy, essentially how you're going to get in and then get out of the deal, such as a sandwich lease option. And it became crystal clear to me how to generate a profit in 4 ways from just one deal, because I saw I no longer needed to get a loan. My plan was to start making as many no money down deals, offers as I could. So I started contacting sellers on Craigslist and Zillow, but I didn't stop there. I then sent them a simple letter of intent offer sheet, which just is a 1-page document that describes what my offer is. And then after that, I sent them a 1-page lease option memo that legally gave me the option rights to the home without ever seeing it or the owner. I know right now you might think that's hard to believe, right? You've probably been accustomed, if you've been in the business for a while, you probably have always met with people like I used to do. But in the last 10 years, I haven't seen a single property, haven't seen a single buyer or seller in the last 10 years. I've been doing this for a long time. I saw that the future was, automation and doing things virtually. And then building on that success, I decided to teach other wholesalers and realtors how to do what I had learned and from other investors that were secretly and quietly investing in the same way. And so if you notice, the theme here is 1-page letter of intent, 1-page lease option memo. It's 1 page. It's simple. It's keeping it super simple. All these contracts freak out sellers and freak out buyers, but you can do things simple, at least to begin with. Now, eventually there are a lot more contracts that go into a deal, but when you're doing stuff online and never meeting somebody, you've got to keep things simple and risk-free. So this is how essentially pushbuttoninvestor.com was born. This is how I created this for a way, not only for myself, but for others to really get out of the difficulties that they were struggling through, trying to put deals together. So with pushbuttoninvestor.com, wholesalers and realtors alike are now discovering how to enjoy both time and financial freedom and work from home or anywhere in the world and live the laptop lifestyle. And that's why I'm so excited to share this with you, so that way you can get these types of results as well. So how does this apply to you? Well, here's how my story applies to your situation. If you're a brand new real estate investor like I was, or even a savvy advanced pro, if the world of online marketing has been a mystery to you, and if you want to close high-ticket sales from the comfort of your own home, if you don't want to work crazy hours and feel stressed all the time, this web class will show you the new way. I used to work 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, selling 3 to 5 homes a month as a realtor. I was doing things the traditional way that we all kind of accept and believe is the only way to do things. But what you're going to learn today is that's absolutely not true. You don't have to do this. Nothing wrong with being a realtor. It's just, if you want to enjoy the laptop lifestyle work a fraction of the time, this is what you're going to learn. So this is actually a gentleman here. His name is Jesse, and he's going to share a little bit about his success with using Push Button Investor.
Hello, my name is Jesse from Ponte Vedra, Florida. I am a real estate investor here, and I wanted to share with you today how Russell's push-button investor sales funnel system created a sale for me, and I didn't have to speak with the gentleman that signed up. Now, we did speak later, but my point is that this all happened in the background, and it's because of the funnel system. It's awesome. And what it does and how I used it or use it currently to create sales is I'll find a targeted audience or group, and I'll post to them. And this software will allow you to take certain posts and just keep posting them over and over again, of course, time them properly. And you can put it out in Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, which is huge now, and LinkedIn. And you can just target whatever you're putting in front of them and let it go. Push the button, let it go. And now once they sign up, Russell's funnel works, man. It takes over from there, and slam dunk, it's a sale. And that can happen over and over again. And that's why I wanted to share with you today. That's my success story here as and as an investor with Russell's system. Another thing I wanted to let you know too is as a real estate investor, we all want passive income, and that's what this creates. So while you're putting that effort out there, which takes very little each week, is to fine tune your audience, put your product out there, and let it go. And you'll see the sales come in. So while I'm working on my business, the sales funnel is working in the back end as well as the software that keeps putting my product out there.
All right. So what we're going to be covering today is secret number one. We're going to go over how to get 1 out of 3 sellers to say yes to your no money down deals. And we're going to go over secret number 2, which is how to structure a sandwich lease option deal without money and still profit in 4 different ways, even if the deal never closes. Secret number 3 is how to attract tons of tenant buyers and close your first no money down deal in 6 days without spending money on advertising. Meaning you don't have to pay any Facebook ads or anything like that to sell your deals. So, all right, so secret number 1 is how to get 1 out of 3 sellers to say yes to your no money down offer. Some people think that, they say to me, hey, Russ, I don't understand how flipping no money down deal houses virtually will work for me. How am I going to get sellers to say yes for me if they never, or yes to me when they never ever see me? How could that work? So let me just share a little quick story about how this could work. So I remember, 10 years ago, reading my first wholesaling book, and I read it in a weekend because I was flat broke, literally could not even afford to buy the book. It was like $20 online. It was by one of the gurus you probably have seen online, and don't want to mention names. I don't want to badmouth anybody, but I got that book. I borrowed I borrowed the $20. I was that broke. And got the book. I devoured it in a weekend, and it was encouraging me to find funding for various types of loans. And, since I had recently gone bankrupt, I realized I couldn't qualify for loans. So that was starting to be disheartening as I'm reading this in the book. And, I didn't want to go and get expensive, risky loans that would have to be repaid fast, such as a hard money loan or a private money loan or even a regular traditional bank loan. I wanted a quick and easy way to create money out of thin air and do it legally. So in this example, if you think about a dollar bill, it's really a promissory note, right? A dollar bill is the government's promise to give value with this piece of paper. The piece of paper itself is worth 20 cents, I think it is. But its promise is to give you a full dollar's worth, 4 quarters, and that promise is backed by the government. Today, I use a 1-page lease option memo, which is just a 1-page document. And hundreds of my students have used this around the world as well. And I learned this from very successful real estate investors who are doing the same thing. So I didn't make it up. It's not my doing. It's just something I had learned 10 years ago, mostly vicariously through watching other successful investors keeping their business this simple and using promissory notes, such as this memo, to essentially act like a dollar. It was a promissory note to sellers to say, hey, I'll give you your full asking price without charging any commissions, and I'll give you X amount of money down. Let's say it's $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 down. but that money is going to come from an end tenant buyer. So that's my promise to you, right? That's the promise that I'm going to give to you. But if I don't, in the next 60 days, I want you to let me out of the agreement. And so the sellers would actually agree to that. Say, well, sure, I'll give you 60 days to do that. And, if you can bring me somebody and they're going to give me this X amount of money, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever it is, then yeah, I'll accept that. And so if you think about it, when you're telling them, I'll give you your full asking price instead of what traditional wholesalers have to do, which is a low ball offer, right? If they want $200,000, the traditional wholesaler has to offer them $100,000 or $150,000 to make the deal work. Here I am saying, I'll give you all $200,000 that you want. And I'm not going to charge you 6% commissions that traditional realtors are going to charge you. You can keep all of your equity. If you have no equity, it'll still work, even if you're slightly upside down, because we're going to be selling on terms and not all cash today. So this was huge for me, realizing I could use a promissory note, just like our government does, to put as many deals as I wanted to. And I didn't have to get a bank loan from anybody. No hard money loans, no private money loans, no traditional commercial bank loans. And as you can see here, these are signed lease option memos, one after another, being signed by sellers. Some of them like day after day, just because it's that easy to get them signed. Again, if you think about it, full asking price, they're not paying any commissions. They don't have to be landlords. They don't have to fix anything in the house. Absolutely insane. Making offers like that, it's easy for sellers to say yes to your offer. You're making an irresistible offer. And that's also why they're able to say yes when they know upfront they're never going to meet you, that you're not the end tenant buyer, that end tenant buyer is going to be somebody else and it's not you. And I tell them upfront. So it's huge. Absolutely can make no money down deals, no money down offers from anywhere in the world. It's pretty awesome. I've got people who do this in Argentina and Trinidad, Tobago. I mean, I'm not sure how you say that, but something like that. It's insane. All right, but you might be also thinking, hey, Russ, I still don't understand, how do I disclose to the sellers up front that I'm not the end tenant buyer? And again, I mentioned that. I let them know up front, I'm not your end tenant buyer. I'm not going to be buying the house. It's going to be somebody else, right? And people often also ask me, is this legal? This one-page lease option memo. I use this as a legal permission slip to allow me to sell an option. And because I'm acting as a principal, I'm representing myself, it absolutely is legal. It's when you are starting to represent somebody else without a license in that state that you get in trouble. So as long as you're disclosing up front to everybody that you represent you, just like the seller represents the seller, and just like the buyer represents him or herself, you represent yourself. My risk, if I can't find an end tenant buyer in 60 days, the deal is null and void. And that's what the one-page agreement says. So it basically gives me 2 months to go find a tenant buyer. And if I can't perform, the seller signs and agrees that this deal is null and void. So I have zero risk. I don't owe them a thing if I'm unable to perform. So the truth is, loans are going to come with tons of restrictions, and they can be very risky, and they've got to be paid back, sometimes really, really fast, sometimes in a couple of months. But you can fund, quote unquote, as many deals as you want with a one-page memo, meaning that promise allows you to make these promises to seller as often as you want, because there's no bank involved. There's no bank restriction that's stopping you from only doing 3 or 4 loans and then you're done. No, you can do as many as you want. All right, so let's move on to segment number 2. Hopefully you're enjoying this so far. Hopefully this is opening your eyes. Hopefully you're seeing the power here. I know I'm going kind of fast, but I definitely, there's a ton of content that I want to make sure I get to, that you can see. So secret number 2 is how to structure a sandwich lease option deal without money and still profit in 4 ways, even if the deal never closes. I know this sounds crazy. And if you've ever heard of a sandwich lease, you've probably heard of profiting 3 ways, but I'm going to show you 4. And I'll give you kind of an example of kind of how I've done that myself. But first off, many wholesalers think, hey, I'm not familiar with how to structure a sandwich lease option deal, so I wouldn't know where to begin or how to explain it to a seller, especially in another state. So let me just share with you a quick story of when I was a new virtual real estate investor. And I remember I'd already been working on this deal for a bit, and I was at an IKEA store here in California and with my then girlfriend, who's now my wife, Diana. And I got a text that a deposit was made for $5,000. And I remember, at that time I was going, I don't know if this is going to work, honey. um, uh, I was trying to impress her. I wanted to marry her. But when I got that deposit, I mean, you bet I showed her, right? I mean, put my phone right in her face and I was like, look at this. And it was the buyer sending me a screenshot from their phone that $5,000 had been deposited. Again, this is a buyer, a seller, and a property I'd never seen. I'm in California at an IKEA store while this deal is being closed. Crazy, right? And $5,000 is being deposited into my account. I've never seen the property, seller, or buyer. And I had structured the deal to make, at that time, money in 3 ways: upfront, middle, and at the end. The fourth way is when, let's say, for example, this buyer only had $3,000 and I needed to finance the other $2,000. That would be the fourth way. And I would charge 10% a month, ideally just, 3 or 4 months max, right? You don't want to go too far with it, but that would be additional revenue stream for the same $5,000. So I'd make another 10%, another $500 for something that I don't own, haven't seen, but control and can profit from. Crazy, absolutely crazy, but amazing. And it's happening quietly behind the scenes by so many in the know wholesalers. And so, now you're in the know. So here's actually the property that I did. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. And here's actually the exact house. And what I did was I structured a $5,000 check up front, plus what I structured was for 2 years. So this is the meat in the middle of the sandwich, right? So the bread would be the $5,000. The first slice of bread would be the $5,000. The $100 a month for 2 years equals $2,200. I'm sorry, it should be, was that right? Well, yeah. No, actually it was $7,400. I'm sorry, I made a mistake there with the math. But anyway, you can tell, even if you stink at math, you can still succeed in this business. Actually, 7,400 is a typo there, but $100 a month for 2 years for a property I didn't own. And you might be thinking too, well, hey, how did you get that? How did you get a seller to agree to paying you $2,400? Not again, sorry for the math mistake there, but again, you can succeed without being good at math. And believe me, I'm not. I don't know why I took calculus years ago. I never used it. Anyway, $100 a month. How did I structure that for 2 years? Because I wasn't really creating value during that time. So you might be thinking, well, hey, you're not a property management company, Russ. How did you do that? The way you do that is you simply explain, look, if I was a realtor finding you an end buyer, and I had to have another realtor. So let's say I was the listing agent. I was going to represent the seller and I had to go find a buyer agent. I'd have to charge you 6%, right? 6% of the deal. And so because I'm not doing that, this is the way I make my money. That's it. That's all you explain to them. And so in doing that, you explain to them like, this is how I get paid. I structure my deals this way so I can get paid for finding you an end tenant buyer. And yeah, you're not going to get all you're not going to get all of the upfront money. We're going to split it, or you're going to get a small portion of it. I'm going to get a bigger portion, sometimes 50-50. 50-50 would probably be the easiest way to get a yes. But this is how I avoid having to charge you a commission. I'm not a realtor in your state anyway, so I couldn't. But this is how I can help you without you having to come out of pocket or having to take any money out of your equity. All right, so now here's the kicker of all of this, is that this deal never closed, meaning the end tenant buyer never bought the house, which had they bought, I would have made another $5,000 per year, depending on what year they closed. So if it was year one, it would have just been $5,000, but year two, it was another $5,000, so it would have been $10,000 on top of that on the back end. So I still made $7,400 for this deal. I'm still doubting my own math. I can tell how bad I am in this math. Anyway, I made that money, even though I can't add. from a property that never closed. It never closed in the end. So, I mean, it was just huge. All right. So now some wholesalers might be also thinking, hey, Russ, I'm not sure I know how to know when to structure a sandwich lease option. That's a really good question. So the way that you know when to do that is when the seller is not emotionally tied to the property, when they're looking for fast relief. Now, I'm not talking about taking advantage of somebody, but when they're disconnected from the property, they're looking for fast relief. They've already vacated the property often, and they're at least at market or even underpriced. But they can definitely be at market. Honestly, they can still even be a little bit over, but mainly you want them to be at market for the rental price for sure. When these conditions are in place, offering a sandwich lease option is real easy to do because they don't really care as much and they're open to pretty much whatever. Just get me a tenant buyer in there who's going to stop the bleeding, right? Somebody who's going to pay the mortgage every month so I don't have to. That's when they're open to doing it. Other than that, they might be like, I don't want, you can still structure the deal if you just explain, hey, I'm not charging the 6%, so that's why this is how I get paid. You can still do it that way, but the easier scenario is what I'm describing here. So the truth is, once you understand how to structure a simple assignment deal without money, a sandwich lease option is super easy to structure also, since there's only a few slight differences. So a straight assignment deal would be basically everything we just talked about with the sandwich lease, except there wouldn't be anything in the middle or at the end. It would just be an upfront $5,000 and then you'd be done. But structuring a sandwich lease, when you understand an assignment deal, is pretty simple. You're just adding a few more pieces to it. So secret number 3 is how to attract tons of tenant buyers and close your first or next no money down deal in as little as 6 days without spending a dime on advertising. I have not spent money in years, probably in 10 years, maybe 9 years on advertising for buyers. It's all 100% free. So some wholesalers might say, hey, I don't know how I don't have the money to advertise for tenant buyers. So let me share you a quick story about Dan. Dan is a mentor student of mine, still to this day, for 5 years. Still to this day, he has been a faithful mentor student of mine. And he had a property out of state that got 543 tenant buyers absolutely free. 543. That's not a typo. And 543. Now, it was a lower end home, so obviously it attracted a lot more buyers. But I wanted to share with you, even if you got a fraction of that, wouldn't that be awesome? So, he never met the seller, the buyer, and he never saw the house. He never spent a dime on advertising. And he used a sales funnel and text blast technology that I shared with him to close the deal virtually. You can see the little statement he put there, in his AWeber. AWeber is a autoresponder email service. And he's like, I got 543 leads in his funnel. So it was huge. It just blew him away. He didn't spend a dime. And the reason why is when you price a property correctly, and I mean correctly, meaning the rental price is priced at market, getting a lot of buyers is easy. Obviously, the more expensive the property is, you're not going to get 543. You'll get a fraction of that, but you still got free buyer traffic and free buyer leads for free. That's pretty awesome. So here's Dan, in his own words, just kind of sharing a little bit about his experience with working with me.
Hey guys, my name's Daniel. I'm just giving a quick shout out and video for Russell De La Pena. I just wanted you guys to know from me, why I like working with him. And I have a few notes in regards to what I've learned and why I enjoy it and what I look forward to. And I just wanted to make sure I got my, all my points across. So the first thing, Russ challenges all my thinking, which I appreciate. Just when you thought you learned everything, you realize you didn't. And then as you're learning those new things, the other thing I like is Russ is always there for me. So he's easy to get a hold of. If I have any questions or need any assistance, as I'm learning these new things and implementing them, I know I can count on him and trust him. And he'll walk me through step by step on accomplishing that particular thing. Also, too, in regards to that, if I have any new ideas, he helps me implement them, shows me why you want to do other things along with your new idea, or sometimes more importantly, he shows, why you don't want to do something in regards to your new idea, or maybe you don't want to implement your new idea at all because it's not going to benefit you. Also, too, um, what I look forward to is building my subscribers and learning to provide massive value to my subscribers. One of the things that I've learned, and Russ always drives home with me, is that you want people to know, like, and trust you. So I look forward to learning how to earn massive trust with my subscribers and learning to understand my followers. So you give them what they want. And if you always give them what they want, then you'll be good to go. And also, too, learning how to lead and teach by example. So what I can say with Russ is he doesn't do anything or teach you anything that he's not doing himself. So that's very important to me, and I appreciate that with Russ, and hope this testimonial helps you guys. Thanks.
So some people also think, hey, Russ, I don't know how to value a property that I'll never actually see in person. Well, the truth is, my dad would always say, hey, Russ, you got to raise it up the flagpole and see who salutes. And the truth is, what he was saying is that the market will tell you the real price, right? So a lot of times sellers want to say, well, how do you know what the real price is? Well, the market tells you, right? So you list it, and in the next 7 to 14 days, if you're not getting any traffic, you're probably overpriced. So at that point, you just got to adjust the price if you're not getting any buyer action, okay? And then you can adjust it by, dropping it $100, and that'll usually start to help. You start to get traction that way. So let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying the web class so far? Hopefully this has just been awesome for you. Hopefully it's been eye-opening and revealing like it was to me years ago when I finally learned all this stuff. And as a recap of what we've talked about, we've talked about how to get 1 out of 3 sellers to say yes to our no money down offers. Secret number 2 was how to structure a sandwich lease option deal without money and still profit in 4 different ways, and even if the deal never closes. Secret number 3 was how to attract tons of tenant buyers and close your first no money down deal in 6 days without spending money on advertising. So are you ready to take things to the next level? That's my question for you. Are you inspired? Are you seeing the vision here? That's the key. You've got to be seeing this. I mean, this is unlimited potential here. So if you said yes, well, I'd like to personally invite you to join us here at pushbuttoninvestor.com, completely risk-free, and discover how to quickly flip houses with no money down, even when nobody's heard of you and you're not techie. It contains inside all of the most important and valuable lessons that I've learned over the past 10 years, all inside this content-rich, no money down virtual lease option home study course. So you're going to learn how to quickly flip houses with no money down, even if nobody's ever heard of you and you're not techie. It's a home study course, and it's all about helping you quickly and easily find motivated sellers and control property without money down and sell deals fast. And I'm talking 7 to 14 days, sometimes as little as 6 days, like I did with that deal before, and start and close without failing at real estate, and even if you don't know what to say to sellers. All right, so let's take a tour now, so I can give you a kind of an idea of what's inside of this amazing content-rich course. In Module 1, you're going to get no money down seller finance secrets. Okay, so Lesson 1 inside of Module 1. Module 1 is like a chapter. Lesson 1 of Chapter 1 or Module 1 is how to quickly and easily structure an irresistible rent-to-own deal. Lesson 2 is how to be seen as a trusted advisor. So I give you seller scripts, so that way you don't ever come across like a pushy salesperson. In Lesson 3, I'm going to show you how to get sellers to say yes with the letter of intent. It's kind of like a preliminary yes, so that way they're real clear about what it is that you're offering in your letter of intent, what your intentions are. Lesson number 4 is how to get your first deal with a 1-page lease option memo. And in Lesson 5, how to predict when you'll make your first sale. You'll learn the numbers that you're going to go through. So how many deals you need to get, how many leads you need to get to close how many deals. Module 2 is do it yourself, DIY, seller lead capture secrets. So you're going to learn how to capture leads Your leads become part of your list. Your list of sellers becomes your most valuable asset. So if you can imagine having thousands of sellers on your list that you can simply send out an email to, how many deals could you get under contract on demand by sending out an email? And I do this, I teach this, I've been living this for the last 10 years. So in lesson number 1, you're going to learn how to create your own seller leads. I'm going to give you an overview of that and how it all works and why you want to do it. Lesson number 2, I'm going to show you how to generate your seller leads for free. Lesson number 3, I'm going to show you how to generate seller leads with paid traffic, and that's super, super cheap. I'm talking as low as 8 cents per lead, 8 cents with sellers responding at 20, 30, 40, up to 50% response rate, meaning them saying, yeah, I'm interested in hearing what you got to say. Lesson number 4 is the perfect seller marketing funnel, which is how to essentially sell without opening your mouth. Lesson number 5 is how to follow up with these sellers with one automation tool. We say that the fortune's in the follow-up. So if you're not following up, you're not going to get the fortune. You've got to follow up with people. Think about it. Usually you need to hear something a couple of times before you make a decision, and sellers are no different. So with one automation tool, you can do that. Module number 3 is the easy 6-day payday blueprint. Lesson 1 is how to structure an irresistible offer for tenant buyers. Before it was sellers, and now it's going to be buyers. Lesson number 2 is how to create a high converting tenant buyer marketing funnel. Perfect funnel for tenant buyers that just attracts them like crazy, which is why we get insane response rates, like up to 60%. And lesson number 3 is how to create an automated follow-up email sequence and why you want to do this. Again, fortune's in the follow-up. Lesson 4 is how to know if your deal will close or not, which is huge, right? So you're not going and suffering through the emotional roller coaster that a lot of us have suffered through. Lesson number 5 is how to set up your first virtual open house, meaning that the seller is going to show the house, not you. Lesson number 6 is how to qualify your tenant buyers without meeting them, right? Lesson number 7 is how to get free tenant buyer traffic to your funnel. So again, you do not need to spend any money on buyer ads. Module number 4 is how to assign your contracts virtually. So lesson number 1 is how to draft your first lease option contracts. Lesson number 2 is how to get your contracts signed virtually. Lesson number 3 is how to get paid from your assignment contracts. So the contracts, how to do these, and most of these are just essentially they're all fill in the blank type stuff, super, super easy, and I'll show you how to do that virtually from home. Module number 5 is a Sandwich Lease Options secrets. So lesson number 1 is the letter of intent that's specifically written for a sandwich lease structure. This is how you can make money in 3 or 4 different ways, profit big from that. Lesson number 2 is how to structure the offer without money. Lesson number 3 is how to get paid 4 different ways with Sandwich Lease Options. So this is just gold. This section alone is gold for you for the rest of your life. Creating money out of thin air and profiting multiple ways from a property that you've never seen but you've controlled, and it's just life changing. Module number 6 is here's what to do next. A lot of times people will finish a course and they're like, okay, well now what do I do? So here's what you're going to be doing. Lesson number 1 is step 1, start making offers to sellers. I'm going to guide you through that. Step number 2 is get your questions answered fast. So I actually give you access to me. You can send out emails and say, hey, Russ, I've got a question. How does this work? You can send me an email about your deal and I'll help you with that, which is huge. That's huge. Not many people who offer courses like this are willing to do that. And if they are, they're willing to charge you a ton of money to do it. We're talking 5, 10, 15 grand. Lesson number 3 is grab your affiliate links, because you can actually share our program with other wholesalers who desperately need it. And you can profit by sharing our courses and our products and our services, our mentoring, by helping others get out of the rut that they're stuck in, working like I was, 14 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, making 100 offers just to get one accepted. And then lesson number 4 is how to joint venture partner with me on some of your deals. Not everybody's going to qualify for that, but if you do, that's huge in and of itself. All right, but I don't want you to take my word for it, okay? Because I know that a lot of times you see programs or web classes or webinars, whatever, and you might have your doubts. But I want you to know that there are other people just like this gentleman who have gone through the course and can share their own personal experiences.
Hello, my name is Vincent Charleston, and I'm proud to have taken the push button investor lease option training from Russell De La Pena. I must admit it was a little overwhelming at first, I'm a newbie, so I'm working toward getting that first deal, working toward advertising. But taking Russell's training has been a very thorough experience for me. When I've had a question, Russell was there for me, and I greatly appreciate it. So if you are a newbie and wanting to get started in real estate, this would be the perfect training for you to start with. Russell is easy accessible, humble, patient, and there for you whenever you need his help. I definitely recommend you invest in this training. Take care. Thank you, Russell.
And then you've got this great guy here who I've really gotten to like. He is actually a seller that I did a deal for, and was also later became a mentor student. We actually rented his place. And by the way, what's huge about that is his house was not sold rent on; it was just rented only. But what we did was I actually generated the entire rental. I kept the first month's rent. So it was like $1,800, if I remember correctly, for the rental. So if you're a realtor, you know that you get 50% of the rent that I get 100% of as a private investor. Meaning you as a realtor, you have to show the property, you got to do all the contracts, all this kind of stuff, which by the way, I didn't write the contracts in this deal either. And you only get 50% of the first month's rent. I got 100%. And on this one, he had somebody else draft the contracts for me, and I got 100% of it. So that, huge.
Hello, my name is Tony. And listen, I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Mr. Russell Della Pena. Let me explain why. Several months ago, I had big issues trying to find qualified people to rent my home from me. I researched several people, but Russell, in my opinion, was the most qualified due to his experience, not only as a wholesaler marketer, but also as a former realtor himself. He was very helpful in being able to answer a lot of the questions I had, and in short, quick time was able to solve my issue and find me qualified people to rent my home. So I highly recommend Mr. Russell Della Pena. Thank you, and good day.
All right, so who this works for? So this works for beginners, intermediates, and advanced investors, people who want to do unlimited deals without loans and without leaving their house. That's who this is for. If that's not you, hey, no problem. I appreciate you joining us today. But if it is you, this is who it's for. All right, so the number one reason why people don't get started is you might be thinking that you can't get started because you're a total newbie, and you're a newbie. You need to read more books. You need to, who knows? You need to get permission from your dog. I mean, you might be thinking that you've never closed a single deal before, so hey, you need to at least close your first, and then you'll try something like this. Or you might be thinking that you're not techie at all, so this is going to be super complicated, high tech stuff, which it's not. You're not confident selling over the phone. Well, that's perfect, because what I'm going to share with you in a minute will solve all that. You hate getting rejection. I used to get rejection like crazy when I would door knock to build a couple of my businesses. So I totally understand that. I hated getting rejection as well. I literally built a couple of businesses from the ground up to 6 figures by knocking on doors, and it was absolutely miserable. Or you might be thinking, hey, I can't get started because I've tried other courses before without success. Well, that doesn't mean that you quit, right? I mean, you got to keep going, and you've got to find what makes the most sense. So if what I've said with you today has gelled, this is the time. This is your shot. This is your life-changing moment. All right. So I've got good news for you, in that I'll be showing you how to close your first deal, even if nobody's ever heard of you. Again, they're never going to see you. Right? It's going to be all over the phone. And I'll show you how to quickly close your first or next deal with my step-by-step 6-day payday blueprint. When you show people a valuable offer, it doesn't matter who you are or how brand new you are, they'll accept it. Okay? I'll show you how to show you how to use super simple online tools that I use that don't require you to be tech whiz. Believe me, I'm no tech whiz. As you saw earlier in this presentation, I'm not even a math whiz. I'm still even doubting if I added that right. I mean, that's how unsmart you need to be, right? I don't even think that's how you're supposed to say it. So the good news is you don't need to be a genius to do this kind of stuff, okay? Plus, you're going to discover my easy seller script that positions you as a seller's trusted advisor, even if you're terrible at selling or convincing, okay? It's super easy, and here's the secret. You're not doing a whole lot of answering. You're doing a whole lot of asking. All right, that's the key here is you're asking lots of questions. And I give you the questions to ask that instantly make you look like a genius and be a better listener and let the seller do all the talking and convincing. I literally will show you how to get sellers and buyers to convince you and come to you so that way you're never dealing or experiencing cold call rejection. Okay, that's a skill in and of itself that's worth this course alone. So here's what you're going to be getting, okay? Pushbuttoninvestor.com's Inner Circle 6-module e-course that I've condensed 10 years of trial and error down to a 6-week home study course, easily valued at $9,997, okay? What you're going to be getting is Module 1, No Money Down, Seller Finance Secrets. You've got Lesson 1 on how to quickly and easily structure an irresistible rent-to-own deal. Lesson 2, how to be seen as a trusted advisor. I give you all the seller scripts that you'll ever need. Lesson number 3 is how to get sellers to say yes to the letter of intent. And lesson number 4, how to get your first deal with a 1-page lease option memo. It's a 1-page document. Lesson number 5 is how to predict when you'll make your first sale, the numbers. So I'll give you the numbers that you need to follow so that way you have a good, easy to follow guide to know when you're going to close your first deal. Module number 2 is do it yourself, seller lead capturing secrets. And the truth is I'm just going to give you, I'll have a link down below this video where you can get your free done for you sales funnel. So you don't even have to make your own funnel. I'm just going to give it to you. But inside this module, you're going to get lesson number 1, which is how to create your own seller leads. So I'll show you how to do it so you have that new skill. I'm telling you, these skills are incredibly valuable for you. Lesson number 2 is how to generate seller leads for free. Lesson number 3 is how to generate seller leads with paid traffic. And I'm talking dirt cheap traffic, a couple $100. So lesson number 4 is the perfect seller marketing funnel, which allows you to sell without opening your mouth, at least the initial part to get someone open. And then when you do talk to them, you just ask a bunch of questions that gets them to do all the talking for you. Lesson number 5 is how to follow up with sellers with one automation tool. Module number 3 is the easy 6-day payday blueprint. You're going to get lesson number 4, which is how to structure an irresistible offer for tenant buyers. Lesson number 2 is how to create a high converting tenant buyer marketing funnel. Lesson number 3 is how to create an automated follow-up email sequence and why you want to do this. Lesson number 4 is how to know if your deal will close or not. Lesson number 5 is how to set up your first virtual open house, meaning that you're never going to be there. It's going to be the seller showing their own house to the buyer. And don't worry if you fear that you're going to get ripped off. I covered that as well. Lesson number 6 is how to qualify your tenant buyers without meeting them. Lesson number 7 is how to get free tenant buyer traffic to your funnel. Module 4 is how to assign your contracts virtually, get contracts signed over the internet. How to draft your first lease option contracts is lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is how to get your contracts signed virtually. Lesson number 3 is how to get paid from your assignment contracts, even though you're never going to see anybody. How do you close the deal? Is there an escrow company? Is there a real estate attorney involved? The answer is no, none of that. And I'll show you how you do it. Module number 5 is Sandwich Lease Option Secrets. Lesson number 1 is the letter of intent document, right? How you structure the deal. Lesson number 2 is how to structure the offer without money. Lesson number 3 is how to get paid in 4 different ways with a sandwich lease option. Module number 6 is what to do next. Lesson number 1 is start making offers, and I'll show you and I'll encourage you how to start getting going right away. Lesson number 2 is get your questions answered fast. That means that you can send me emails by being a part of pushbuttoninvestor.com's Inner Circle. You can send me emails and get answers within 24 hours. I mean, no matter how complicated the question is. Lesson number 3, grab your free affiliate links so that we can start promoting our program and earn some cash while you're going. And lesson number 4 is joint venture partnering with me. I remember years ago, a mentor of mine shared with me, it's like, I was struggling because I was always going for the big deals. And those, when I would get big deals, it was awesome. But the problem was in between, right? I needed money in between. I didn't want to just eat up all of my profits from my big deal. And so if I wasn't closing deals right away, I would start to struggle and I had to pay bills, and it caused a lot of stress for me. And so one day I asked a mentor about this, and he looked at me and said, Russell, let me ask you a question. In the wild, how many elephants have you seen? I said, what? Well, none. He says, well, how many rabbits in the wild have you seen? I said, a lot. He goes, well, Russ, go hunt rabbits. And what he was saying was, you got to not avoid the big deals, but you've got to also work on small deals. And so being an affiliate of our program allows you to generate some of the rabbits, right? Some of the small deals. The truth is I'm going to show you how to be in front of a lot of sellers, but also a lot of wholesalers and even realtors that would love to learn how to do this. Believe me, I see it all day long. They're going, really? You can do it this way without, virtually, without money, without seeing anybody? Yep, that's what we can do. And so if you have a link that you can copy and paste, if you know how to copy and paste, you can send them a link and get paid every single month for different products that we have, or one-time good upfront chunks of change just by that affiliate link, and remove the problem of not having enough cash while you're hunting your big elephant deals. All right, so with these new skills, you're going to be able to quickly and easily structure no money down deals and never need another bank loan again. You're going to know how to profit in 4 ways from Sandwich Lease Option deals, even if the deal never closes in the end. You're going to know how to position yourself as a seller's and buyer's trusted advisor, even though you don't have a license in that state. I'll show you how to carefully do that without indicating that you represent anybody in any shape or form, so you don't get in trouble. Close deals in as little as 6 days. 7 to 14 days usually is the average. Find and control and profit from property that you never see. And finally, the laptop lifestyle, and avoid working 14 to 16 hours a day like I did, and tons more. With these tools, you're going to be able to get rid of the daily frustration of trying to find desperate sellers that'll accept deeply discounted offers of 30 to 50%. You get rid of the daily call rejection and being treated like a sleazy, pushy sales guy or gal. You get rid of not knowing where you'll find your next seller or buyer lead. You get rid of being stuck in the dark ages of sales and marketing, and instead learn the new ways of sales and marketing in the 21st century, and just tons more. So, time and money saved. Just imagine learning what I've learned over the last 10 years, but instead compressing that time frame down to 6 weeks. Imagine all the money you'll save in the outdated, with the outdated courses created by the gurus that are still teaching you the old ways of sales and marketing. Look, at this point, you might be thinking, hey, I can't find motivated seller leads on a consistent, predictable basis, but that's not a problem, because inside my course, you'll find all of my battle-tested fill-in-the-blanks ad copy swipe files that are guaranteed to bring you motivated seller leads on autopilot, absolutely free. And if you want to speed things up even faster, I'll show you how to use a super simple software that I use to get positive seller responses fast without spending a fortune. Again, I'm talking 8 cents a lead there. So here's an example of Freddie, who, gave me permission to share this quick email that he sent me. He says, Russell, just want you to know that I ran another campaign this time in Florida, and it was successful, as I've gotten back 9 positive interested leads, and I'm going to call them back today. Any advice? And it looks like you got spell check there a little bit, but, and then just 4 hours later, you got another lead that came in. So this was just a couple days ago. People are using this, and every time I tell people that it's going to blow them away and it's going to be a ton of leads, are all like, okay, yeah, you're trying to sell me the thing, so naturally you're going to say that. And every single time, they always come back and go, you were not hyping that. You were telling the truth. It's huge. It's revolutionizing for people, because they're used to, buying foreclosure lists. They're used to buying bankruptcy lists. They're used to sending out postcards. They're used to hanging up illegal bandit signs. They're used to going to networking events. They're used to all the old ways of doing stuff. And here they got the simple software. It's push button. They're able to push a few buttons and get tons of leads that are actually open, saying, yeah, I'm interested. Maybe, tell me about it. How much down? They're open to these things. It's insane. And it's a lot of people, like, if you don't believe it right now, if you're struggling with that, I totally get it. I hear that all the time. Freddie was saying that to me. And Freddie then later saw and was blown away by this. In fact, he was telling me he's got a nephew that is a wholesaler doing things the hard way. And he's going to be sharing this with him and letting him know of the new way of doing things. So just to recap again, what you're going to be getting is Module 1, no money down, seller finance secrets. Module 2, do-it-yourself seller lead capturing secrets. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm also just going to give you the form, okay? Module number 3 is the easy 6-day payday blueprint. Module number 4 is how to assign your contracts virtually. Module number 5 is sandwich lease option secrets. And module number 6 is here's what to do next. All right. But you also get bonus joint venture profit secrets, where I'm going to give you amazing training, easily worth $997 on how to joint venture, how to do some simple internet marketing that'll allow you to get deals. And this is the access page that you would be able to get inside. I want to ask you something though. If all this did was this, now obviously I'm not going to be charging you $9,997 for the course. But if I did charge you $9,997 and all it did was show you exactly how to get 1 out of 3 sellers to say yes, would it be worth to you, considering that you could be making $3 to $25,000 just for one deal that you close without money and without leaving your house? Would it be worth it to you? The answer is mathematically yes. And again, I'm no math genius, as you found out. But yes, it would make sense, because this is a skill set that you'd be using for the rest of your life. If all it did was recoup your investment today so that you could close as many more deals as you want for the rest of your life, would, with these new skills that you'll be learning, both creative seller financing structures and a few simple internet marketing techniques, would it be worth $9,997? Of course. If all it did was finally give you a surefire blueprint that showed you exactly how to find, control, and profit from real estate in any market in as little as 6 days, would it be worth $9,997 to you? Of course. So, I had 2 choices, right? I could either make this course super cheap, or I can make it valuable. And I chose to make it valuable. What would it be worth to you, if you were finally able to live the dream laptop lifestyle that I and countless others have quietly lived for the past 10 years? What would that be worth to you? If you were able to work on a deal for just 2 to 4 hours on average, and that's what we do, it literally is 2 to 4 hours on average, and make more than most attorneys and doctors, would that be worth it to you? So your investment in joining pushbuttoninvestor.com's inner circle today is not $9,997, which is the normal retail value, but today it's just one easy payment of $997, which, by the way, if even that's too much for you right now, because I know what it's like to be broke. If you've got PayPal credit is a way to get 6 months of no payments and no interest. And I'd be willing to do that with you. That means that you'd have 6 months to repay $997. And I'm telling you, you can close these deals in as little as 6 days, on average 7 to 14 days. And even if it took you 3 months, that's still half the time that you'd have in order to repay this and be in profit mode long before. Okay, so that's, hopefully taking away a lot of the risk here, or the perceived risk that you might be thinking that you have, okay? I'm giving you a special discount today because you've demonstrated that you're an action taker. And since you're obviously looking to change and looking for a new way, some would say the right way to build your business, I want to give you a dramatically lowered price so that you get in, you take advantage today. So I'm not going to charge you $9,997. I'm not going to charge you $4,997. I'm not going to charge you $2,997, which it would easily be worth just a special price of $997 today. All right, so you've got 2 choices, right? Let's be honest. You can suspend any and all disbelief and see if what I've claimed here today is 100% true, or you can continue to do what you've always done that's gotten you exactly where you are today. So the choice is really yours. But here's my better than your money back guarantee. Look, at pushbuttoninvestor.com's inner circle step-by-step blueprint doesn't help you with exactly how to quickly find motivated sellers and control property without money down and sell your deals fast. I will personally get on the phone with your sellers, buyers, and even their attorneys and talk for you while you listen in. All right? See if you've ever heard a guarantee like this. Plus, when it comes to drafting your letter of intent, your lease option memo, and all of the other assignment contracts like the lease agreement, purchase agreement, option agreement, the seller disclosure, and the assignment agreement, I'll personally do it all with you via screen share So you can watch over my shoulder as we do it together. Okay. So if you get through the course, you go through the material, you're like, it's not exactly what I thought or whatever, or I'm just absolutely stuck and I just don't think I can make it work. I'll personally do this with you. All right. Insane. But that's not all, because I'll even show you how to close your first deal in as little as 6 days, start to finish, with 100% free buyer ads online. That means that you won't have to hang up any signs at a property, and you definitely won't have to meet with a single buyer or seller or even see the property. You getting this? So, and there's even more, because if you don't close your first deal in 30 days, I'll do all of this and more for an extra 2 more months. Absolutely free. That's how confident, guys, I am in the fact that I do truly hold you by the hand throughout the entire process. So there's no way that you can fail at all. Let me ask you a question. What other mentors do you know that make guarantees like this? The answer is no one. Trust me, I checked. All right. So ask yourself how many of them that you've ever seen in courses like this being offered, where they're willing to work up to 3 months for free, or up to 2 months more to free, actually 3 months, because I usually charge $1,500 a month to do what I just offered you for free. If you feel like the course is just either too complicated or it's not doing what you thought. So you become an inner circle member by paying $997, but you're going to get what I normally would charge $4,500 over 3 months, right? $1,500 a month. You'll get that for free if you absolutely feel like, you're just absolutely confused. Plus, you can put this on PayPal credit and not pay a dime for 6 months, no payments and no interest if you qualify for that. So the real question here is this: is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Even if it only does half of what I've claimed here today, it will pay for itself in as little as 6 to 14 days. But even if we take 30, 60, or even 90 days, would these new life-changing skills be worth the wait? Of course they would. And, as if this wasn't an amazing deal enough already, I'm going to give you some free bonuses, okay? First one is my fill in the blanks long form seller sales letter, worth $997. Now, the power of a sales letter that is fill in the blanks and it was already proven to convert is that it does the pre-selling for you, right? So all of us hate getting on that phone call, that first phone call where we're cringing and talking to a seller. So I'm going to show you how to do this with a sales letter so you don't ever have to open your mouth. And I'm just going to give it to you. Copywriters are easily going to charge you $3 to $8 per word when they write a sales letter like this. And I'm talking ands and uhs and all that kind of stuff included. And you're going to get that for $997. But that's the value of it, what it would be, but you're going to get it for free. The secret to selling without opening your mouth. And this is essentially what a sales letter does. It's highly persuasive sales copy that pre-sells your cold prospect and makes them a hot buyer without you opening your mouth. So what you're going to get: module number 1, no money down, seller finance secrets. Module number 2, DIY, seller lead capturing secrets. Module number 3 is the easy 6-day payday blueprint. Module number 4 is how to assign your contracts virtually. Module number 5 is sandwich lease option secrets. Module number 6 is here's what to do next. All easily worth $9,997. 10 years, guys, of blood, sweat, and tears all poured into it so you can learn this in 6 weeks. Give me a break. Free bonus gift number 1 is my long form seller sales letter worth $997. And I'm also going to give you access to joint venture profit secrets worth $997. But I'm also going to give you my fill in the blanks long form buyer sales letter, also worth $997, that will pre-sell. So I remember years ago having to spend a half hour to an hour on the phone with a ton of buyers all the time, explaining what a rent to own was. And it drove me nuts because I felt like I was a professional a professional information booth, spending a half hour, an hour to explain what a rent to own was over and over and over to people. So I decided to use a well-crafted fill in the blank type of long form sales letter that would do all the explaining for me. And that way I didn't have to do that. So I'm going to give that to you, easily worth $997 when you consider that copywriters will charge you $3 to $8 per word. This is at least a couple thousand words in this letter. All you got to do is fill in the blanks with like your name, right? Your company, your phone number, simple stuff like that. You're going to get that for free. And free bonus gift number 4 is my 9 fill-in-the-blank automated follow-up email sequence. So remember, we talked about the fortune being in the follow-up. If you've got no follow-up system, then you're not going to get the fortune. And so you've got to have an autoresponder sequence to show you the options that I personally use, but you're going to get the emails that go in that. So you just fill in the blanks, your name, your phone number, your email address, basic stuff like that. And then these emails will sell people on coming back to your website to sign up over a period of 9 days. Very, very, very powerful. And free bonus gift number 5, my favorite ninja tools for training and also some resources that I use, easily valued at $1,997. All the online ninja tools that I personally use to automate my business, automate 90% of my work for all the sales and marketing. You're going to get that absolutely free. So here's the thing, guys. You've got to break old habits, right? You know, these old bandit signs to the left there, or passing out your business card that nobody ever does anything with other than put it in the round file cabinet, AKA the trash can, or wasting time at endless networking events only to have everybody pitch you as you pitch them on what you do, or driving around town and looking into vacant houses like a weirdo and looking into houses trying to find vacant houses, which is just absolutely insane to me. Or looking to see if the weeds have not been cut is another advice I've seen old gurus tell. Crazy, right? When you can just be doing all this by pushing a few buttons from home. Here's the thing, guys. You can either make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. And so today, this is my offer to you. Get started with us today. Only $997 to get started. If you go through the course and you're just, you get confused or you're just feeling like, I just don't know how to make this work, I'll give you up to 3 months of help at no charge. That's insane. That's insane. And I'm talking about 3-way calls where you can put me on the phone with your sellers. You can put me on the phone with your buyers. You can put me on the phone with attorneys. You put yourself on mute. Literally, I ask you to put yourself on mute and listen in while I do all the talking, so you can hear somebody who's been doing it for 10 years, somebody who was a successful realtor prior to that. So I'm familiar with both sides of the coin, and you can listen in. That way, it's like a guaranteed way of success for you. Okay, I don't guarantee specific outcomes. Obviously, I'm not able to by law, and I don't know you. I'm looking at a screen right now, so obviously I can't make these claims where you're going to get rich quick and all this kind of stuff. But what I'm saying is, you have the best shot of success with my help being on the phone while you listen in, if you're able to do that. You might be able to do all this on your own and just go through the course and go, I got this. I don't need your help, Russ. But if you absolutely said, I just can't do this, I need help, you can send me emails first. And if you need to get on the phone with folks, I'll do that as well. So get started today. Only $997 today, but I'm telling you, I'll be raising the prices for this, and you definitely won't be getting, you absolutely will not be getting for very long my help. What I charge $1,500 a month in addition to the course. So 3 months would be $4,500 easily. I cannot give that away for free, obviously, forever, because I can only work with so many people. I own a couple of other businesses. And so, I cannot do this forever because there's only a limited amount of time that I work, and I actually work a limited time. So you've got to take advantage of this now before I change this. And for anybody who's been following me for the last, since 2014, when I opened Push Button Investor, I always tell people I'm going to be raising my prices, and I always do. I always do. This is no different. Trust me on this. I know, you're thinking he's just trying to get me to buy. He's trying to get me to buy. Yes, I am, because I know this will serve you. I know this will change your life. I am absolutely on a mission to help wholesalers and realtors just like you to succeed and do things the easy way, the more enjoyable way. This is by far easier. You can automate 90% of your sales and marketing by doing this. You've got to take advantage of this. This is not going to be this low forever. All right? Trust me on this. Give it a shot. I've practically taken any possibility of failure out of the equation here for you. All you have to do next is get started.